everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back if you're new here. I usually stream on Twitch, but not anymore. We do YouTube now. Today we're back with another video of Hakuoki. I do not remember where we left off, clearly. So, let's just play the game, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna remember by then. But yeah, so.
まあまあ綺麗になったじゃないか。
だろ？この筋肉は飾りじゃねって先生もようやく分かってくれたみてえだな。
人を動かすという点に関しては軍略も掃除もさして変わりませぬゆえ。
あんた文句言ってただけだろうが。
でも掃除は一日休んでたんだろ。ずるいよな、みんな頑張ってる時に。
My baby's sick, Dodo.
しょうがないじゃない。土方さんが過保護なんだから。
お前が変な咳するからだろうが。養生しねえからいつまでも治らねえんだよ。
しかしやはりこうして片付いていると気分がいいものです。
Of course you will like it, Saito.
まあな、見違えたもんだ。
よし、これからは毎日掃除するか。
おう、頼んだぜ平助。
なんで俺だけなんだよ。体力自慢の新八さんが真っ先に働くべきだろ。
I'll help too, Heisuke.
そっか。そんじゃ明日から二人で頑張ろうな。新八さんなんて放っておいて。
God, Dodo, simp.
おいおい、ちょっと待てって。誰もやらねえとは言ってねえだろ。
お、そこにまだゴミがあるじゃねえか。ちょうどいい、捨ててこい、心配。
いや、だから明日からだろなあ平助。
片付けたそばから暴れるな。誇りが立つ。
I was enjoying the banter when I noticed something. My boys! I could just see Okita and Dr. Matsumoto outside walking off somewhere together. Where could they go? I wondered. I'm worried about Okita, of course. Duh. So what were Okita and Dr. Matsumoto doing? Was Okita going to talk about the doctor about his cough? He was coughing an awful lot lately. Now I thought about it, was he alright? I decided to follow them. Huh? Unfortunately, I waited too long. By the time I made my way outside, they were gone. I think they went this way.
おや、雪村君、誰かを探しているんですか？
Who are you? Guy? Shimada, have you seen Okita and the doctor?
沖田君たちなら中庭の方に行ったようですが。
ありがとうございます。
急ぎすぎて転ばないよう気をつけてください。
はい。I saw him walked off and it got me thinking. The courtyard. Should I try and catch up? Or should I go around back to the research back? Should I go around the back to reach the courtyard before they did? Ew. Go around. I dug into the narrow path that ran around the back and soon found myself at the courtyard. I hid myself in the shadows waiting. Okita and Doctor appeared only moments after I hid silently.
結論から言おう。お前さんの病は老害だ。
It was not cancer. I remember wrong. Tuberculosis? In this era? For just a second, my heart stopped. A shiver ran down my spine. I suddenly felt very, very cold.
なんだ。やっぱりあの有名な死病ですか。
Great babes. The famous disease. I'm guessing it's obviously still incurable by this point. So, Okita has.
でも面と向かって言われるとさすがに困ったな。
Poor guy.
老害の一番の薬は西洋だ。新選組は離れて精のつくものを食べてゆっくり体を休めなきゃいかん。
それはできません。
そうせんと体は悪くなるばかりだぞ。今はそうやって平気なふりができてもいずれ布団から起き上がることすらできなくなる。
じゃあその時までここにいますよ。 血を吐きながらそれでも刀を取ります。
なぜそれほどまでここにいたいんだね。
僕は新選組の剣ですから、ここにいることが僕の全てなんです。
Oh, Okita, I will be your everything.
新選組の前に立ちふさがる敵を切る。
お前さんの覚悟は分かった。
Okita sounded cheery, but I was listening in a state of shock. Okita's going to die? I felt like I want to faint, but I stayed strong and remained standing.
近藤さんたちには言わないでくださいよ。約束ですからね。
まあ、どうしても言えないことってのはあるだろうな。私もあの子に打ち明けていないことがあるんだ。
What is it?
行動さんが上位派の過激浪士連中と行動を共にしてるかもしれんなんてな。
Dun dun dun.
とてもじゃないが伝えられんよ。
The news of Okita's illness had me so scattered, I almost cried out at this new piece of intelligence. My father working with nationalists? There was suddenly someone behind me. A hand slipped over my mouth before I could react, and a freezing sensation in my spine shivered.
静かにしていろ。
Even if when I choose Okita, this man. He was calm, cool voice I heard many times before, though never quite from quite so close. Saido. My body relaxed. The body behind me was Saido, and not some animus silent.
そのまま動くな。掃除は気配に悟い。
I know my head as much as I dared. His hand over my mouth made me too nervous to breathe. Saido's presence next to me was silent and sharp like a blade in the night. Oh my god, my dog. Sorry. It seemed like hours passed before Okita and Matsumoto finally left.
斉藤さんの起点がなければ危ないところでした。
Yamazaki? How long was he? No, something told me that would be foolish question. He was probably watching me the whole time. Sumimasen. If you hadn't stopped me, Saido, I probably would have given myself away.
いや、俺の方こそぶしつけな真似をしてしまってすまなかった。
大丈夫よ。
掃除に気づかれずに済んだのはあんたのおかげだ。
Not at all. There was a briefest hint of smile in his eyes as he spoke, then it
それ
disappeared.
で掃除のことだ。先ほど話していた病の件に関しては聞かなかったことにしてくれ。
Yep. He wasn't asking me to keep my mouth shut per se, but rather to forget what I'd seen and heard ever happened. But why?
あの方が病に倒れるとなれば内外に与える影響が大きすぎます。それに老師たちが勢いづくだけでなく局長や副長にもご心配をかけるでしょうから。
He was right, even I could understand that. But I couldn't forget the sight of Okita smiling. Even with the seriousness of this news.
病に関しては我々が対処する。あんたが気にすべきことではない。
Saido-kun, don't be so cold. God, it would be this.
関わるなと言っているのだ。
Hi. Hi. At the end of the day, I was still only a guest. This was a sad reminder, surfaced once more. I may live among the Shinsegumi, but I wasn't one of them. Not yet, girl. Saido's words made that very clear. Suddenly I feel cold, as if a cold gust of wind blew through me, draining all the heat from my body. I was all alone. Poor babes. From then on, Matsumoto visited the compound regularly to check up on the men of Shinsegumi. Ever since Sanan had become the leader of the Furies, the group named as the Fury Corps. Still, couldn't help but wonder, is it really alright to continue researching the Furies? My heart was heavy with worry. Without him, the Shinsegumi would be nothing. We would cease to exist. If so, why? '1866. October. It's been a year. Okay. The music! Damn. After the dust cleared following the Hamaguri rebellion, the shogun set about cleaning house. The Choshu expedition was launched by the shogun once the Choshu domain were declared enemies of the court. Perhaps feeling they dodged a bullet, the Choshu domain fell silent for a moment. Their obedience was short-lived, however, and before long their disrespect for the shogun became impossible to ignore. In order to investigate further, the shogunate decided to send an envoy to the Choshu domain. Gondo was asked to accompany an envoy and sent to the Choshu to investigate their behavior. However, the Choshu domain refused to even meet with the envoy. Fed up with their insubordination, the shogunate ordered the second Choshu expedition. However, the war was a costly one, exhausting both the resources and the men from all over the domain, whose morale began to falter. To add to the fire, word of the shogun Iemochi passing shook all over Japan, and some domains even withdrew, which made the situation even dire. The second Choshu expedition had ended in surprisingly major loss for the shogunate troops. October 1866, the pillar of the Tokugawa shogunate, which stood strong for 260 years, was beginning to show signs of instability. Politics. God damn, I'm not keeping up with the story, not gonna lie. That day, I was accompanying Saito on his rounds. It sure has been hot lately. I've gotten used to the city of Kyoto, but I can't get used to this humid heat.
そうだな。
Baby! I always wondered, even in midsummer, Saito always wears his full uniform. Wasn't he hot? He's hot indeed. He kept vigilant, guard up while observing the city of
ひと
Kyoto.
まずあそこの店から回ることにするか。雪村、あんたは店の前で待っていろ。
Hi. He gave me a short nod of confirmation and stepped into the shop with his
新
men.
選組だ。先日、浪人風の男が出入りしていたという噂を耳にした。戦議させてもらう。
So stern. Hey. Mochiro. I've been waiting for Saito and his division for a few minutes when I noticed a commotion nearby.
てめえら道を開けやがれ。勤王の獅子様がお通りだ。
A number of rather unpleasant-looking Ronin were making their way in my general direction, yelling, threatening, and intimidating anyone unfortunate enough to cross their path. Patriots? Hardly. Perhaps they considered themselves loyal to the imperial court, but they looked like sort of who only use their supposed patriotism as an excuse to steal and kill.
ほら、邪魔だって言ってんだろ。
This girl! The Ronin tossed a purely aimed kick at the child playing in the street. Oh. What should I do? It seems like warriors were preoccupied with their investigation in the store. Just as I'm about to stop the Ronin.
やめなさいよ、みっともない。
Ooh!
あ？なんだてめえは。たかが女が俺たち勤王の獅子に意見するってのか。
そのたかが女に意見されることをみっともないと思いなさいよ。
Let's go, girl!
今日の人がどれだけ迷惑してるのかわからないの？
乗れ。
The man obviously sure fuse had been lit. He made a grab for the girl and missed. But wasn't that a timely cough, right? Oh, dang. Nearly died there. Okay. I suspected his attack wouldn't be as inaccurate. I couldn't let that happen. Yeah, meta! When I hit... Oh, what? I positioned myself in front of the girl and protecting her.
なんだお前は。その女の知り合いか。
No, I don't.
知り合いじゃねえんならすっ込んでろ。
God damn. Lexa's spit flew from his mouth as he roared at me, and my legs suddenly felt somewhat weaker than they had a moment ago. But I was committed. I couldn't run now. If you truly love your country, as you say, then why don't you abuse women and children? As a samurai, I should protect common people, not attack them.
なんだと。
そうだそうだ、いいぞお兄ちゃん。獅
Hi!
子気取りの不正浪士め、今日からさっさと出ていけ。
Something about my speech must struck a chord with the gathering crowd. With the cheers, my legs started to regain some of their usual steadiness.
バカにしやがって。
With a rough hiss of metal, the Ronin sword dipped from its scabbard. I suddenly discovered I had difficulty swallowing. I could try to dodge, but if I did, he went to hit the girl my actions had intended to protect. I was about to draw my sword. So He's hot. He's so hot. Ugh, 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 ugh. Slowly, carefully, I open my eyes.
安心しろ。峰打ちだ。
Mm.
貴様。
そいつを屯所に連れて行け。長州の残党かもしれん。
Go him.
はい。
Working quickly, Saido's men set to work binding the Ronin for transport. Saido's cold eyes fell on me.
何故俺を呼ばなかった。
すみません。
万が一のことがあったらどうするつもりだったのだ。
Oh, Saido. すみません。I wasn't thinking. But I couldn't help myself. I mean, what if she were to get injured?
怪我なんてしないわよ。まったくもう無茶しちゃって。
A scolding from Saido was expected, but I thought my erstwhile damsel in distress would contribute. I'm sorry, Amichi worry. I gave her a short, slightly confused bow, to which she blinked as if suddenly remembering something very important.
あ、でも私あなたに助けてもらったのよね。まだお礼を言ってなかったわ。ありがとう。
Oh, I didn't do anything. It was Saido and his men who made the actual arrest.
別に謙遜なんてしなくていいのに、見て見ぬふりをするよりはずっと立派だったんだから。これも何かの縁だし、女の子同士仲良くしましょうね。
What? Saido glanced from her to me, and an expression flashed across his face that I couldn't quite place.
見る者が見ればわかることだ。動揺するな。
あら、もしかして内緒だったの？まずかったかしら。
Well, I wasn't entirely sure how to respond. How does a person respond to that sort of question? She seemed to sense my confusion and gracefully moved on.
ところで、まだお名前を聞いてなかったわね。これも何かの縁ですもの。教えてくれるかしら。
Oh,
そちら
well.
の方は斉藤さんよね。新選組は有名だもの。知ってるわ。で、あなたの名前は
Chizuru Yukimura. Hajimemashite.
雪村。
Her eyes grew wide as if were surprised and stared intently at me.
あなた、雪村って姓なの？生まれは東国？
Why, yes. I was living in Edo, but I can't come to Kyoto for a certain reason. She was acting a little strange, and I tried to speak up to her, and she laughed and looked
ご
up.
めんなさい。なんでもないの。知り合いと同じ姓だったから。雪村ってすごく綺麗な名字ね。
You think so? Thank you.
よろしくね。私のことはセン？
Sen? Okay. Hajimemashite.
なんか水臭いわね。
Honestly, I just knew like a few Japanese words. I don't know if I used it correctly.
見たところ同い年ぐらいだし、そんなにかしこまらなくていいわよ。
So just Sen then.
まあいいわ。じゃあまた会いましょうね。
She gave my hand a gentle squeeze and turned and left, her kimono flapping behind her. Our encounter was over before I had a chance to grasp what was happening, so I simply stood stunned for a moment or two. Saido was eyeing Sen walking off, eventually turned to me.
あの娘、あんたの姓が気にかかっている様子だったが。
I know. She did say it was the same as her acquaintance. Well, I guess Yukimura isn't an uncommon name either. Seems like Saido was concerned with her reaction to my name, and he was deep in thought.
予定からだいぶ遅れてしまった。そろそろ行くことにするか。
So we continue our rounds. Trying to withstand scorching heat. The heat wave ended up lasting several days, and on such day...
雪村先輩お茶はこんな感じでいいんでしょうか？
Senpai? I'm a senpai now? It may be better to make them look warm. It's still quite hot today, you know.
なるほど。さすがです。
Sasuke-desu. This young man is Kazue Soma. He joined the Shinsengumi just before the summer began. He's a very serious and respectful. Kondo supposedly met him when he was in Choshu for the envoy, and he invited Soma to join us. Now I currently work as Kondo's page. Yes, he grew fond of the Shinsengumi, and he was focused on learning about all it takes to become a successful warrior.
じゃあ水で薄めりゃいいんじゃないか？
But if you do that, then T's liver will become lighter.
そうか。なあ、相馬、どうすりゃいいんだ？
井戸水で冷やしてみるのはどうだ？
え？
おお、そいつはいいな。やってみようぜ。
This energetic lad is Risaburo Nomura. He joined the Shinsengumi around the same time as Soma, and because their closeness in age, Nomura became Kondo's page in training. For him, he was a huge fan of the Shinsengumi, and he joined them because of it. That left me make sure that I teach them about all the duties and responsibility that go into becoming a page, which was harder than I thought. The tea doesn't have to be room temperature, just a little cooler to offset the hot weather. So first prepare some warm water rather than boiling hot, then try brewing it. That way it doesn't dilute the tea's flavor.
おお、すげえ。なるほどな。先輩小姓は伊達じゃないぜ。
本当に勉強になります。
I love this voice. Thanks? Well, as for the tea, I'll pour some and take it to them, so you too.
俺たちは何ですか？何でもやりますよ。
ええ、何でも言ってください。
よーし、お前らは今から俺と剣術稽古だ。どうした？やりたくないのか？
はい、お願いします。
いやー、俺はちょっと仕事が。
おいおい、新人が遠慮なんかするなよ。
野村、諦めろ。これも
諦めろ。
立派な大使になるための試練だ。
試練っていうか、あれはしごきだろ。
そんじゃあ、ちょっくら二人を借りていくぜ。
Okay, please take care of them. Soma gulped deeply and he looked nervous. Nomura, on the other hand, looked ready to cry. Segakura dragged both of them to training. I wish the two of them the best of luck. Kaze Soma's record of service. Ooh. Here's some parched barley tea, Kondo. Supposedly it lowers the body temperature.
ありがとう。雪村くんの入れてくれたお茶は飲みやすくてちょうどいいな。
Thank you. He was deep in thought, arms crossed and stern. Things were bad since Lord Iemuchi's death. Kondo especially was having a difficult time. Perhaps it was best to simply left him alone. I turned and already began to walk away when he spoke.
今、掃除を松本先生に見せてるんだ。
Did he know about Okida's illness? What did he say?
まだなんとも。重病でなければいいのだが、もし掃除の身に何かあったら、あの人に申し訳が立たんからな。今日に来る前、掃除の姉のミツさんからくれぐれもよろしく頼むと言われていてな。
Oh, Okida has an older sister?
ああ、両親を早くに亡くしているから、ミツさんが親代わりとなって掃除を育てたんだよ。
I see. Okida seems to have been through a lot.
まあ、あいつは素直で前向きだからな。苦労したとは思っていないだろうが。
あの根性曲がりを相手にそんなことを言えるのは日の本博士といえどあんたぐらいだと思うぜ。
あ、Ichikata-san。
お、トシ、どうしたんだ？一緒に麦湯でも飲むか？
いや、麦湯は別にいらねえが、三条大橋に建てられてる生殺のことを知ってるか？
ああ、知っているとも。長州の罪状を記した札のことだろう。
ああ、あの生殺を引き抜いて鴨川に捨てたバカがいるらしい。
無論その話は聞いている。だがその生殺は後日立て直されたんじゃなかったのか？
そいつがまた引き抜かれちまったそうだ。そろそろ俺たちに声がかかるんじゃねえか？
以前札が引き抜かれたのは確か夜中だったな。であれば三男君の羅刹体を使ったらどうだ？
羅刹体か。
何か引っかかることでもあるのか？
あいつらは確かによく働いてくれるが、やりすぎなんだよ。どんな役目につけても関わったものを全て皆殺しにしてきちまう。しかもそれだけじゃ飽き足らねえ。元の形をとどめねえくらい 死体をバラバラに切り刻んだりしやがる。新選組の仕業だと気づかれねえようにするためとはいえ、ありゃいくらなんでもやりすぎだ。新選組は人殺し集団じゃねえ。死体で遊ぶのはやめろといくらいさめても治らねえ。あれじゃ辻切り連中と変わらね
You're like a pack of dogs. I felt a shiver snake down my spine as he spoke. Even after a year, I remember with terrifying clarity what I seen when I first arrived in Kyoto. The Furies. They behave as if possessed by evil spirits, their swords mercilessly hacking away at dead men. It hadn't been hatred or fear that drove them, but some sort of twisted amusement. I don't think I ever thought that how mad smiles each had wore.
ま、いくつか手を考えてみるか。
そうだな。細かいことは都市に任せるよ。ところで、この間聞いたところによると、将軍後見職の一橋慶喜公がだな。
There's so many shit to remember in this fucking game.
あの人か。家康公の再来なんて言われてるそうだな。確かに頭はいいのかもしれねえが。
Before long, they started to discuss politics I didn't understand, and I politely excused myself. Got my dog, I swear to God. I thought back on what Hichikara had said. It was true Sanan had been acting strange, and the Fury crops had been getting more and more violent. There's a lot on my mind but where it most was. Which one should I go for? Okay. I think I'm gonna either choose one of the two. Let's choose Sam. Because I think that's for Hajime? I was thinking about the woman who I'd met. While in the city of Kyoto, a chance encounter brought me to meet this young woman, Sen. Sen was full of energy, always showed me great kindness. She took one look at me and saw through my disguise, but even still, she didn't pry too much into my affairs or ask about the Shinsegumi. Perhaps she was just being considerate. Since I've been living at the compound for so long, it had felt ages since I made a female acquaintance. Now that I think of it, I guess I could say that I know Nagumo now as well. People who told me that I look like Nagumo, but if I were dressed like a woman again, I had no confidence that I'll look anywhere near as gorgeous as she does. All the girls I met all looked like they were about the same age as me, but they were all dressed as real girls. I couldn't help but feel a little envious about how beautiful they were. I wonder if the day would ever come where I could be a girl I used to be. Okay. A few days later, I've been accompanying Nagakura on his rounds to search for my father. But on this day, I couldn't help myself from looking at all the other girls my age. I mean, although my other appearance wasn't the best tip off, I was still a girl. So all the lovely kimonos, accessories I saw caught my eyes. I think living exclusively with men for prolonged periods starved me of conversation with real women. Technically, since I arrived in Kyoto, the only girlfriend I met were Nagumo or Sen.
って聞いてるか
Okay, I think I accidentally picked Nagakura and the red hair guy. It's rude, but it's fine. Oh, Nagakura, sorry, what was it?
いやちょっとしたことなんだけどな。なんだか最近嫌な感じなんだよ。あの伊藤とミキが原因だと思うんだ。毎日嫌味ばっかり言いやがって頭にくるよな。
I suppose. Nagarasu felt a venting session, so I kind of tuned out. But I felt bad that I didn't hear what he said first, so I focused on what he was saying.
なんで近藤さんはあんな奴らを仲間にしたんだろうな。確かにタイを大きくしたいという気持ちはわかるぜ。昔とは違うっていうのもわかる。だけどよ、もともと新選組は幕府に味方する同志の集まりだったんだ。なのにその派の伊藤さんとかがでけえ顔しやがるしよ。なんかこう昔からの仲間をもっと大事にしてほしいんだよな。
Nagakura sighed. He seemed to wanting to hear my take on it. I felt like that's a tough situation. I understood where Nagakura was coming from. When big changes are occurring, you can just help but felt left behind. Nagakura gave a big nod of
まあ
agreement.
大変だがやっていくしかねえ。佐野や平助もいるし。悪いな。こんな話に付き合わせちまって。
Oh, no, don't apologize. I was feeling similar way, to be honest. Nagakura
そ
timidly
れっ
asked.
てもしかして伊藤さんの悪口か
Oh no!
そりゃそうだよな。ま、何か悩み事があったら相談してくれよ。
Sounds
それ
good.
とな、伊藤さんの話をしてたのは内緒にしてくれよな。
This conversation
よ
between
ー
us.
し、話を聞いてもらったらなんだかすっきりしてきたな。
True, my own worries weren't totally assuaged. But Nagakura had snapped back into his royalty stride and bright attitude. I hadn't seen him act this way around anyone other than Harada or Heisuke. Thinking about it made me really happy. Made me feel like I was part of them. I blushed at the thought.
残りの巡察を頑張るぜ。
Me too. I'll work hard to find some clues. Nagakura energy was contagious that I too felt motivated and answered just as energetically. Though I figured it'd be a while until I could sit and talk to my girl my age. I still had a lot of people whom I could confide, people who cared about well-being. I ran after Nagakura's back as he upped his brisk pace. Okay. What was that for? As we continued our rounds through the city, something happened elsewhere at the same time. The Chisegumi had received official orders from the shogunate to guard the notice board that was vandalized by Sanjo Ohashi Bridge. Harada, who was guarding the notice board on the night off, had arrested the culprit. However, there supposedly was a woman who caused trouble for him. According to Harada, the person looked like just me, but that's the numerous men who vouched for me, corroborating the story that I had been elsewhere. No one actually suspected me, but still, the thought of someone else out there who shared my appearance left me disturbed. 1867. December 1866. I was sweeping a section of the compound despite being nearly frozen to the bone. That should do it. I wanted to help out as much as I could, but they still refused to let me out without an escort. There wasn't a great deal I could do. Still, I helped clean our home, and that felt good. Hopefully, they'll like it too.
お、境内を掃除してくれていたのか。助かるな。
Hello, Kondo. It's really getting cold lately, hasn't it?
今日に来てからずいぶん経つが、この寒さにはどうも慣れんな。
He rubbed his hands together and blew on them, in a most faint attempt to warm them up. Pick a bunch of dead leaves, so I was thinking about roasting potatoes later. Would you like some? They'll warm you up. Kondo gave me a little wry smile.
キーモか。昔はよくやったもんな。
Oh, he flushed with embarrassment. Kondo was a busy man. His management of Shinsengumi was not easy. A man like that didn't have time for roasting potatoes. You've been really busy lately. I hope you're taking care of yourself.
まあ、忙しいってことは、それだけ新選組が頼りにされてるってことだ。名誉なことさ。
True. In the last several weeks, Kondo and Chikara had left the temple often to go meet with important shogunate officials. They scarcely had time to breathe, let alone relax. At that moment, almost as if my thoughts had summoned him, Chikara appeared.
お、近藤さん、こんなところにいたのか。
おお、トシ、どこに行ってたんだ。探したぞ。次の将軍がだな。家持将軍の後見人だった一橋慶喜公に決まったようだ。
やっぱりあの人に決まったか。他にやる人なんざいねえんだから、もったいぶらずにさっさと引き受けりゃいいのによ。
トシ、将軍公になられた方に向かってその言い方はないだろう。あの方は東照神君家康公の再来と呼ばれるほど英明な方なんだぞ。
まあいい。将軍が誰になろうが、俺たちはその将軍の下で戦うだけだ。
そうだな。俺たちが頑張れば、それだけ将軍公も徳川幕府も安泰ってわけだ。
Okay. Only 20 days after Lord Chernobyl had been officially inaugurated as new shogun, the emperor suddenly passed away. It was especially hard on the emperor's younger sister, Kazunomiya, who had been married to Lord Iemochi and was intended to be the symbol of imperial unification, but everyone on both sides was shocked by his death. He was succeeded by Imperial Prince, a young boy who of only 15 years. In the turmoil, the activities of the Choshu domain went unobfuscated. The entire country of Japan found itself thrust into a rapid motion. Everybody's dying, god dang it. '67. Wow, we're like boom, 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 boom. Well, technically it's only been a month, but... Oh, is this my new room? End of December 1867. Oh, end of December, okay. The year had flashed before our eyes, and before we knew it, it drew to a close. It was our high spirits, having experienced a year without any major battles or accidents. As everyone begins gathering to celebrate the new year, we discuss our hopes for what is to come, and look to welcome the season with open arms. Then, one snowy day in the middle of the winter. It's cold. I felt its icy fingers trying to work their way under my blanket the moment I woke up. My breath puffed up in white clouds, the light streaming in my window had an odd bright quality. Was it possible? Oh wow! I look outside and gasp. A few flakes were still drifting down, but it clearly snowed much harder of the night. The entire compound was white. I thought it seemed colder than usual, and now I know why. Huh? Amidst all the whites, there was a column of a person. Was it Saito? I hurried down the steps. Oh, Saito good. He turned slowly and looked at me.
あんたか。今日は随分早起きなのだな。
I missed you, babes. So have you? What are you doing out here by yourself?
先ほどまで道場で剣の稽古をしていた。稽古を終えた後、雪が積もっているのに気づいたから足を止めてみた。
He fell silent again. I looked up the sky, his face full of muted emotions I couldn't decipher. If you just finished training, aren't you sweaty? I feel like you should dry it off, or you're gonna get sick.
あんたこそ中に戻って火鉢にでも当たっていた方がいいのではないか。冷えは万病の元というだろう。
He continued to stare at the falling snow and gave no indication he meant to move. I glanced down at his hands. The cold hand already turned his fingertips red, but he either hadn't noticed or didn't care. Do you like the snow? He didn't speak, but from the look on his face, I could tell what his answer would be.
雪というのは不思議なものだな。
Oh, it's beautiful. He looked up at the sky again, a faint smile pulling at his eyes. Powerful.
美しいものも汚れたものもすべてを白く覆い隠すこの風景の中に身を置いていると自分ではない清らかな何かになれるのではないかと。
You're already pure, babe. He looked and sounded somber and serious as he always did, but there was a small satisfied smile on his face that I had never seen before. Eventually he turned to look at me.
中に戻らんのか。この寒さの中その軽装では冷えるだろう。
No, I think I'll stay here and look at the snow with you a little bit longer. He looked at me for a moment with an expression I couldn't read.
物好きだな。
He turned back around as the snow fell silently around us. He blinked and looked
ど
at
うした
me.
何かあったか。
Do you want to play? Yes! Let's play. I was thinking that you'd like to play in the snow instead of just watching it.
遊ぶ？一体何をするというのだ。
Well, we could make a snowman, a fort, or something. I guess snowball fight wouldn't be very fun with just two people. His eyes widened. Ah, cutie! I wanna play snowball fight!
雪だるまに鎌倉か。わらべのようなことを言うのだな。
Really? Am I that childish?
別に悪行のつもりで言ったわけではない。気にするな。
He turned around again, slightly more quickly, I thought, and looked at the snow.
だが残念ながら、雪だるまを作れるほどは積もっていないようだ。この雪もおそらく昼には溶けてしまうだろう。
Oh, yeah. I felt a little smaller. He seemed to like the snow so much, but I felt like there had to be something I could do to make him happy. Of course! Do you want to make a snow bunny?
雪うさぎ。
His eyebrows pulled down almost imperceptibly. Well, come on, don't tell me you don't know. When I was a kid, I would make them for my dad every time it
過
snowed.
分にして聞いたことがない。
Then I'll make you one right now. Hold on.
わざわざ俺のために手間をかけさせるのも。
Oh, don't worry, it'll only take me a second. As I spoke, I began to search the yard for berries and leaves to its fashion its eyes and ears strong. Saito didn't move and watched me silently as I trotted around in the snow. For a moment, I felt like I was a child again, walking through the yard of my old home in the middle of winter. Before long, all done, here you go. I picked up the bunny gently and carried it to him. Cute.
なるほど。これが雪うさぎか。
He stared at the thing in my hands. Yeah, isn't it cute? I made it for you.
差し上げると言われても、これをもらってどうしろと。
He was visibly confused, which for Saito was saying a lot. Oh, you don't like it? I swallowed instead to step back, but he was silent for a moment then.
手がずいぶん冷えているな。部屋に戻ったら温めておいた方がいい。
You taking chances, huh, Saito? I see you. I see you. Until he spoke, I hadn't realized that our hands were touching. I blushed. Pinky. His long, slender fingers were cupped around my hands. Even though the stinging cold of the snow, I could feel a faint warmth from them.
どうした？頬まで赤くなってきたようだが、霜焼けか？
No, that's not it. With his deep blue eyes looking into mine, I felt very shy suddenly and rushed to pull my hand away.
そろそろ中に戻った方が良さそうだな。あんたに風邪でもひかせては、副長に何を言われるかわからん。
Alright. He looked down at the snow bunny I had unceremoniously disposed in his hands when I withdrew and
こ
smiled.
の雪うさぎはありがたく受け取っておく。すぐに溶けてなくなってしまいそうなのは残念だが。
There was a hint of kindness in his normally flat tone. He inclined his head to me, then turned and walked towards the main temple. As I watched him go, I could still feel the warmth of his swanson. Oh, romance is blooming. The snow bunny remained on Saito's windowsill until the snow melted. Nagakura and Heisake saw it and laughed. Who knew, they said. Saito got so excited when it snowed that he made a snow bunny. I guess he was a kid once. Chapter 4. Ooh. How many chapters there are, huh? I feel like I should have played this in chapters. Oh well. April 1867. Oh hey look, Okita! Cherry blossoms have bloomed. They're magnificent, look. The season changed, spring came. Kyoto was filled with the cherry blossoms and the whole city took on a festive atmosphere. Stormed by the gentle cheer of spring, my footsteps felt somewhat lighter.
このところ暖かくなってきたし、今日はいい天気だし、浮かれる気持ちもわからなくはないけど、一緒に歩いてる僕たちのことも少しは考えてほしいな。
I guess I turned around to look at my surroundings. The townsmen were looking at me dubiously as I expressed my excitement over the weather. Okay, I'll be careful. Maybe I was spacing out because things had quieted down a bit and I'll let my guard down. Okita?
何?
In the narrow alleyway over there seemed to be a few ronin that saw us and snuck away.
そんなのいちいち気にしてもしょうがないでしょ。
Really?
もし本当に尊重派な老師だったら、もっと堂々としているはずだよ。僕らの姿を見て慌てて逃げるような連中は正直言って雑魚だよ、雑魚。
雑魚。I see.
まあ僕たちに絡んでくるほど度胸がある老師なんて今の今日にはいないと思うけどね。
And Shisegumi gotten pretty famous around Kyoto, hasn't it? Uniform stands out a lot too.
まあ目立って困ることもあるけどね。
When the men wore their uniform, people seemed to notice them at first glance, which at first probably seems like a good thing, but their uniform had become a symbol. But there's some argument among the Shinsegumi about if they should adopt a new one. Some people, such as Ito, felt that the uniform should be changed because it wasn't fashionable. His Ito back from the Imperial territories yet?
そうみたいだね。別に帰ってこなくてもよかったんだけど。
Oh, don't be like that. He went to recruit some of his friends and acquaintances, right?
まあ、そういうことになってるけど。実際、どこまで行ってきたんだろうね。
I didn't hear the details, but I heard he went to more places than he originally planned. If he put all in that effort, he must really care about the Shinsegumi, right?
君はそう思ってるんだ。
Am I wrong?
違わないけどね。
He said it in a suggestive way.
近藤さん、優しいからな。あんな人、早く切っちゃえばいいのに。
You really shouldn't, Okida. How could you joke around about killing one of your companions?
同志ね。
He scoffed and fell silent. Ever since he had first arrived, Okida and the rest had never seemed to like Ito much. When he said it out loud in public, it surprised me. I glanced around. Oh! They're in the crowd, a face I've seen before. I stopped walking. Kaoru? The face that looked back easily could have been mine, but there's no way I could ever mistaken that face. But no sooner when I spotted her had she disappeared, melting into the crowd. Kaoru!
ちょっと。
He made a grab for my arm, but I already moved out of his reach. I might be in trouble for it, but I didn't go quickly. I'll lose her. Sorry, Akira, there's something I have to do. I caught a glimpse of his confused face as I dug into the crowd.
勝手な行動は慎めっていつも言ってると思うんだけど、面倒を見させられるこっちの身にもなってほしいな。
I ran through the crowd as fast as I could, bobbing and weaving around the citizens, going about their business, until last I caught up to her.
あなたは
She was Kaoru, no mistake.
どうなさったんです？そんなに息を切らせて。
Sorry for surprising you, that is. Kaoru, do you remember me?
ええ、新選組の方たちと一緒にいた人ですよね。覚えていますよ。
May I ask you something?
まあ、なんでしょう。
I gulped. I know I had to choose my words carefully when asking her. One of the Shinsegumi saw a girl who looked like me at the Sanjo Ohashi Bridge a while ago. Could that have been you?
さあ、三条大橋は普通に通るところですけど、もし私がそこに行ったとして、何か問題が終わりになるのですか？
Oh, I was embarrassed for asking her what seemed to be an irrelevant question, but her eyes thinned.
もしかして、あなたがお聞きになりたいのは、夜にその場所へ行ったことがあるかどうかではありませんか？
Could it be? If it was autumn night and you got in the Shinsegumi way.
もしそうなら問題大ありだね。君には死んでもらわなきゃならないかな。
Okida! I didn't realize he caught up with me so quickly.
これは新選組の沖田さん。いつぞやはどうもありがとうございました。
She bowed, but Okida didn't even seem to notice.
で、答えはどっちなのかな？心当たりはあるの？ないの？
Okida wore the same half smile he always did, but his body was as tight as a bowstring, ready to have his blade in his hand at the moment of notice.
死んでもらうなんて、そんな恐ろしいことおっしゃらないでくださいな。三条大橋なんて昼間は誰でも通るところではありませんか。それに夜なんて。ただ雪村さんに顔が似ているというだけで私を疑うなんてひどいです。
She sadly looked down and rushed to shake my head. Of course, I understand. Sorry for asking something so rude. I guess it really wasn't her. I felt embarrassed for even doubting her for a second, so I apologized.
甘いな。そんな簡単に疑いを解くなんて。もし犯人だとしても、自分から私がやりましたなんて言うわけないじゃない。
Well...
彼女を信じてあげようと思ったのはどうして？自分と似た顔をしてるから？それとも 女の子だから。
I didn't have an answer. Kaoru then take one step back.
もう行っても構いませんか？用事がありますから失礼します。
Kaoru. She turned and ducked away, disappearing back into the crowd. Had I done the right thing, I wondered. He's covering for her. I was wondering whether or not I should give a chase again when I heard Okita begin to cough. Okita, are you okay? Oh god, he's dying. Okita? Oh no, he's shivering. As I stepped towards him, he threw out a hand and threw his face upward to glare at me. Oh, he's twitching.
大丈夫だから。
You're obviously not. Also, is it tuberculosis contagious?
君はそこでじっとしていて。
It was the sheer force of his personality that stopped me, not just his words. For a little while, he coughed as if his lungs were gonna collapse. Eventually, his coughing slowed, then began to subside. His cough finally ended, and he wiped his sweat, looked up. Okay, is something wrong?
何が？
I mean, if I somewhere to rest, you don't look too well.
顔色が悪いのは君を追いかけて走ってきたせいだよ。それに今は巡察の最中でしょ。休んでる暇なんてあるはずないじゃない。
But...
もう大丈夫さ。落ち着いたから。さっきの人、カオルさんのことだけど、生殺事件のことを確かめたかった気持ちはよくわかる。でもそれならなおのこと一人で動くのは無謀だよ。もし彼女が敵で仲間が近くに隠れてたら君一人で対処できた？
Well...
無用な心配だったって言い切れる？彼女が君をおびき寄せるつもりだったとしたら、この場所は人目にもつかないし、叫んでも声が届きにくい格好の襲撃場所だよ。
You're right. She hadn't tried to attack me, but Okita was right. Next time I'll not be so lucky. I could have easily run right into the trap.
巡察に同行している以上、行動には注意してくれないと。君は役立たずの子供なんだってこと、少しは自覚したら。
I gripped my fist and looked down. Sorry. I felt bad causing him extra stress, so I apologized and he sighed.
やれやれ。お説教なんて柄じゃないんだけどね。妙な遠慮はやめなよ。頼るべき時は頼ればいいんだからさ。君には散々迷惑かけられてるし、今さら何とも思わないけどね。
He let out a snort of laughter. My poor boy! And he's coughing fits. That night, after everyone else had gone to bed, I lay awake thinking about what had happened. I couldn't forget what Okita had said. A useless kid. He was right. Compared to captains, no. Compared to the weakest Shinsegumi, full shoulder, I was pathetic. I had been lying there, staring at the ceiling. My actions today were no doubt reckless. I mean, if this happened well a while ago, I'm sure I would have been killed, no questions asked. The face that got away with just a lecture shows that they've been starting to trust me a little more, but I couldn't go on like this. Tomorrow I start working harder. But no sooner had I closed my eyes. God dang, what the fuck? There was a crash from the hallway outside my door. I rolled up out of my bed just as the door exploded into my room. Standing in the hall was Shinsekumi's soldier. Is something wrong? I called out to him despite being incredibly alert and guarded, but the soldier remained quiet. Did you need something? Huh? Squinted to get a clearer picture. It's a fury! Just then his hair turned instantly white. His eyes were ominously red and he looked directly at me. He was one of the Furies. To top it off, he was completely mad. Just like the warrior I saw that one night in Kyoto. I had to call for help. Couldn't possibly face a deranged superhuman monster on my own. I inhaled, preferring to call for help. No, I couldn't call for help. If I did, then I would risk jeopardizing Shinsegumi's secret about the Furies. That was spell disaster for the Shinsegumi. I had to find another way. The Furies, unfortunately, was not similarly encumbered by doubts. His sword hissed through the air, and I felt the metal of its blade burn the flesh of my arm. A sharp pain seared out from my wound. The Fury saw my blood dripping. His eyes began even more mad. Isn't this where Okita saved us? Blood sprang from the cut. I pressed down it separately with my face hand, but no avail. Thick red liquid spilled between my fingers, slid down my arm onto the floor.
血だその血をもっと
The Fury became increasingly erratic, and he started licking the blood-stained sword. He began to creep towards me, his movement odd and jerky, like a massive spider. Oh no. My back slammed against the wall. I'm going to die. Just when I prepared myself for death, yes! Because I remember Okita's words from earlier that day. Oh, I thought Okita was here.
頼るべき時は頼ればいいんだからさ。
Okita, everyone! Someone help! He was down on his hands and knees, licking my spilt blood off the floor. There was no samurai there. It seemed what little humanity had left him entirely. I used his retraction to gain distance from him. Please, I beg to any god who might be listening, let someone come. He looked up from the floor. My sleeve was soaked in blood from the cut on my arm. His eyes locked into it, and I saw the light up animalistic hunger. His grin was a nightmarish thing.
それだお前の血をもっとよこせ
Picked off the floor roughly and come charging at me. No! There was no doubt he was going to kill me. I rose.
伏せろ
Hijikata!
言うまで絶対に頭を上げるんじゃねえ
I heard a voice from nearby, immediately followed the orders and ducked. The Fury seems to be shocked to see Hijikata coming out of nowhere. The Fury spun to attack Hijikata, but the commander's sword fast faster. His twisted cry reverberated from the room's walls. He was writhed in agony, but his wound started to heal immediately.
今のうちだ雪村
Hey! As I ran to his side, I heard the other footsteps pounding around the hallways.
無事か
Babies!
こいつまさかこいつこの間落ち水を飲まされた大使だなここまで狂っちまっちゃ生かしておくわけにはいかねえか
Oh, hot! It's an unspoken signal, a chorus of blades slide from their cupboard.
新発案佐野さ抜かるんじゃねえぞてめえ誰に物を言ってやがるんだ
羅刹だろうがなんだろうが波の大使に遅れを取るわけねえだろ
They fanned quickly, circling the wounded soldier. There was no escape.
悪く思うなよ
The captains all attacked at once. The Fury was killed almost instantly. The excitement was over. Or so I thought. But then only the captains who heard any cry for help.
まったくこんな夜中に何の騒ぎですの
伊藤さん
Ito rubbed his still sleepy eyes, stepped into the room and froze.
何なのですかこれはそこの大使には見覚えがありますわ確か大気違反で切腹させたはずではそれにこの地あなた方の仕業ですの
伊藤さん違うんだこれはさ
何が違うのですか幹部総出で寄ってたかって大使をなぶり殺しにするなんて誰か説明なさい
Ito was fuming and screaming.
皆さん申し訳ありません私の不注意が原因です
Sanan, why did you come out? You're dead. Sanan? Seeing Sanan, Ito's eyes grew wide.
三男さんなぜ亡くなったはずのあなたがここに
captains fell silent. Eventually,
これ以上隠し通すこともできねえか。雪村、お前は席を外してろ。今夜は俺の部屋を使って構わねえ。
ooh, okay. I know me being here won't do anything, but I wonder if they'll be alright. Would they be explaining the situation enough to Ito so that he wouldn't freak out? There was so much to worry about, but Hichikata looked at me sternly.
聞こえねえの。席を外せって言った。
Yeah. I was worried, but I knew there was nothing else I could do, so I left the room. Well, wasn't that exciting? I was hoping Okida's safety, but okay. Huh? It's morning already. The birds chirping woke me up. Wow, look at his room. I shut up, thrown off initially because of the ceiling was unfamiliar to me. Remember that Hichikata had told me to stay in his room for the night. At the same time, the events of last night were beginning to flood into my mind. The warriors who had gone mad, the pain of the blade slicing my arm, touched my right arm wrapped in bandages. I could feel throbbing pain anymore, so I took off my bandage to see my injury. Of course, it's healed. What had been an ugly open wound the night before was now little more than a faint white line. In a few days, even the wound would be gone. I wouldn't need any bandages anymore, but well, I guess it's good that the wound is gone. But if anyone sees this, I'll wrap myself back up again. It'll be convenient to wear, but I'm going to pretend to still have this injury. I wonder what everyone is doing. I said I had a common room to see what's going on. So many footsteps.
あら、あなたは。
Oh. Ito, Miki, and Saido and Isuke. What are you guys doing so early in the morning?
そりゃ、あれだけのことがあった後、のんびり寝ていられるほど無神経ではありませんわ。雪村くん、怪我をしていたでしょ？傷の様子はどうなのかしら？
It's not that bad.
そう。それは何よりですわね。
Huh? His mood was almost the polar opposite of the previous night. He seemed to be rather in a high spirit. Has something happened?
知りたい？
Yes.
教えてあげない。ま、だいたい想像はついてるかもしれないけど。ねえ、東堂くん、斎藤くん。
What? I cocked an eyebrow at the Hesuke and Saido.
まあな。
The moment our eyes met, he looked away. It seemed odd. Saido?
今は知る必要はないということだ。
Like his companion, Saido met my gaze straight on, but his eyes were flat and utterly devoid of any emotion. It was as if he put up a wall.
なんだ。別れの挨拶にしちゃちとそっけなさすぎないか？それとも実はこんなところからはさっさと出て行きたいってのが本音なのか？
Get out of here.
三郎、余計なことは言わなくてもよろしくてよ。それでは、私たちはもう行きますわ。雪村くん、ごきげんよう。
それではな、雪村。
またな。
And then they were gone, leaving me wondering what just happened.
おや、雪村くん。もう起きてて大丈夫なのかい？
I'm fine. I slept really well and I feel a lot better. My wound doesn't seem to be as deep as it looked.
それは良かった。しかし、災難でしたね。
It's alright. Anyway, ran into Ito on my way here. He was acting very peculiar. Did something happen? Ino and Shimada look at one another, both wearing troubled
そう
expression.
か。あったのかい。
Both Ito and Miki were behaving rather strangely. And Heisuke and Saido were acting kind of strangely too. I was starting to feel concerned looking at the two of them for an answer. After some thought, Shimada opened up.
実はですね、伊藤さんたちはここを出ていくことになったんです。
Eh? What, leave?
新しく隊を立てることにしたらしい。新選組とは別にね。
Is that okay?
近藤局長と土方副長が伊藤さんと話し合って決めたということです。
ご領英字ですと？
いかにも、この糸、同志と共にここを出て、 孝明天皇の御陵絵図を拝命する所存ですわ。
And you took my Saito? How fucking dare?
まあ以前から考えていたことではあるのですけど、あんな場面を見せられた以上、これ以上一緒にやっていくのは難しいと思いまして。もともと私は尊皇攘夷の志を持って新選組に協力していたつもりですけれど、あなたたちとはどうにも水が合わないようですし。
くだらねえへりくつはいい。伊藤さん、あんた要するに太陽を割ろうって言うんだろ。
3年にもわたってこの私をたばかってらしたのはどちらでしたかしら。
まあ伊藤さんがそこまでおっしゃるのであれば仕方がありません。だがご説明したように、こたびの一件の発端は幕府からの密命なのです。もし外に漏らされては我々としても黙っているわけにはいきません。
そこは取引というものですわ。あなたたちは我々に口をつぐんでいてほしいご様子ですし、私たちは黙ってここを出ていきたい。ですから出るにあたって大使を分けていただきたいと申し上げているだけですわ。
How fucking dare, how?
わかりました。ですが連れて行くからには本人の承諾をお願いします。
それはもちろんです。表向きは協力関係にあるという形を取らせていただきますし、その方がお互いにとっても都合がよろしいのではないかしら。
ということだそうだ。トシ、これでいいか。
近藤さんがそう決めたなら、俺はもう
Then Haisuke and
伊
Saito.
藤さんについていくそうだよ。驚いたね。伊藤さんと昔からの知り合いだった東堂君はともかく、斉藤君はそんな様子は全くなかったのに。
No. Would that mean I could never see them again?
心配することはないよ。言っただろう。これは友好的な関係を前提とした分離だ。
Kondo. It's kind of him to try and comfort me, but I can shake the feeling that something terrible was going to befall the Shinsengumi and its members.
そうは言っても、今後はエジと新選組大使との交流は禁止するつもりなんだろう。
当然だ。これ以上あいつらの好き勝手にさせるつもりはねえから。
But is that really okay? Ito and the others leaving, I mean.
伊藤派の奴らが抜けたところで困ることはねえよ。ま、平助と斎藤も一緒だっていうのは少しばかり計算外だったかな。
まあな。彼らの期待に応えられなかった我々の落ち度でもあるが。
From there, conversation moved to a discussion of politics that was beyond my ability to follow. What could have been said anyway? Decision has been made, there was nothing I could have said to change it. I got up quietly and left the common room. I never thought something like this could happen. Look up at the sky, watching the clouds from in streaks above me, and then lowered my gaze. It seemed like just yesterday we were all having our normal lives at the compound. All of a sudden we arrived at today, helpless as our troops split among themselves. I could wrap my head around it, however, and with all my confusion, especially worried about what worried more was people leaving with Ito, Heisuke, and Saito. Did I ever get to see them again? Was this goodbye? I want to know what they were thinking. Are they still around? As I stood to look around for them, I spotted Yamazaki walking towards me.
雪村君、
Yamazaki.
昨晩怪我をしたそうだな。傷の具合はどうなんだ？
Yeah, I'm fine. Have you seen Heisuke and Saito?
東堂さんと斎藤さんか。
His expression turned grim at the mention of their name. It was clear how he felt about the man who chose to lead the Shinsengumi with Ito. Sorry for asking. I turned quickly to leave, but he held out a hand to stop me.
境内だ。向こうに行くのをさっき見かけた。
Thank you.
話をするなら早い方がいい。彼らがここを出た後は、それすらも許されなくなるからな。
Yes. There they were. Heisuke, Saito. My snow bunny man. They turn around with a reserved expression.
やっぱ捕まっちまったか。
Did you want to be left alone? I can go.
そんなことないって。俺もちゃんと話したいって思ってたからさ。
Good.
やはり来たか。話があるなら早く済ませてくれ。
Right. Just want to hear it from you. Why are you leaving the Shinsengumi?
理由か。
He scrunched up his face and scratched nervously at the side of his
伊
nose.
藤さんは同じ流派の先輩だし、昔から知ってるしさ。あの人が新選組に入ったのは俺が誘ったのがきっかけだったんだし、だから一緒に行動する義務があるんじゃねえかなって、そう思ったんだよ。
Isuke always struck me as kind, so I wasn't surprised that he felt he couldn't abandon Ito. But that means he'll leave everyone else behind. He might not ever get to see them again.
いきなり分派って言われて俺もちょっと動揺してるところはあるんだけどさ。けど俺もともと幕府に尽くしたいって思ってたわけじゃねえし、例の薬のこととかいろいろ考えると伊藤さんが言う御領英治の方が合ってる気がするんだ。
I couldn't really think of anything to say, so I kept my mouth shut. After a moment, he continued.
俺だって本当はみんなとずっとバカ騒ぎしてたかったさ。だって江戸にいた頃から今まで。
His gaze drifted up into the distance. His profile seems almost heartbreakingly lonely. But his mouth was a hard line. His mind was made up. What about you, Saito? I looked up at
自
him.
らの志に合うと感じて伊藤派に属することに決めた。
Are you an imperialist too?
征夷大将軍というのは本来夷敵を排するためにある役職。害意を払うという本分を忘れた幕府に尽くす道理はあるまい。
So you're saying that Kondo and Ichikata are wrong?
そうだ。
Because you don't agree with them, you're willing to walk away and never see them again.
それもやむを得んだろう。己の志を貫くためには情などに頓着するべきではない。
But I want them to stay. Are you sure you won't change your mind? Stay here with Shinsegumi? I can't be the only person who doesn't want you to go. We all like you. Aren't the Shinsegumi your friends? I know they had their reasons to go, but I had my own reasons and I want them to stay. There was still time. If I could just convince them, make them understand they wouldn't have to go away. Please, Hisuke, Saito.
言わないでくれって。俺たちだって昨日今日決めたわけじゃねえんだからさ。
話はそれだけか。ならば俺はもう行かせ
You
てもらう。
bitch! Return my bunny to me! Are you sure? If you go, then you might have to fight the Shinsegumi
言
someday.
ったはずだ。志の前では情など無用のものだと。
This man. Saito. But his mind was made up. I was nothing I could say to change it. Could I have if I gained enough like love thing with him?
強いよな。
His eyes fell at Saito as he walked away. You feel the same way? Can you just forget about your feelings? Would it be easy for you to fight your friends?
俺は
He screwed up to his face in frustration. Hisuke was honest and straightforward, but he didn't have his way with words in some other way meant
な
it.
あ、ちょっと中庭の方に行ってみないか。
He wasn't avoiding my question precisely. Perhaps he wanted to buy some time to think about his response. Alright, let's go. Saito, you bitch! You bitch, Saito!
すっかり暖かくなったな。
He lifted his face to the sky for a moment. It was cool, clear blue, and warm rays of sunlight pushed down on us.
ちょっと座ろうぜ。
Okay. I lowered myself down next to him.
なんかさ、みんなは伊藤さんのことを嫌ってるけど、俺はさ、伊藤さんの言うことが全部間違ってるとは思えねえんだ。このまま幕府の言う通りに働いても、正直言って 先はねえと思う。幕府のお偉いさん方は俺たちのことを使い捨ての駒としか思ってねえだろうし。
I'm sure he's not. Concerning the serum and everything else. Don't blame them for questioning and having concerns for the shogunate. But not wrong and trustworthy were two different things. Was he really worth leaving the Shinsegumi? I wonder if he's thinking that joining Ito will turn out better for him than staying with Kondo.
伊藤さんからいろんな話を聞いたんだ。幕府のお偉いさん方がどれだけ腐ってるか、今の日本がどんなに危ねえ状況に置かれてるか。もちろん伊藤さんが言ってることが全部正しいとは俺も思ってねえよ。伊藤さんも伊藤さんでなんか考えがあるんだろうってことも分かってるし。でもさ、昨べの伊藤さんの様子を見て俺改めて思ったんだ。同じ志を持って入隊してきた仲間を薬の実験の道具にしたり、そのことを他の大使に隠したりするのはどう考えてもおかしいって。いつの間にか俺もみんなもそれが当たり前だと思うようになっちまってたけどさ。でも一つだけ分かってくれよ。俺はみんなのことが嫌いになったわけじゃねえから。それだけは嘘じゃねえからさ。
Yeah, I understand where Heisuke's coming from. I sure hadn't spent a lot of time thinking over all of this, but maybe it's stressing over it. After all of that internal deliberation, this is how it felt. I want to honor it, but I just want you to stay with you longer, Heisuke.
ありがとうな。そう言ってくれて嬉しいよ。そりゃあ俺だってお前と離れるのが寂しくねって言ったら嘘になるけど。だけどよ、行くって決めたんだ。俺だって男だからさ。
Babes. I could clearly tell he was wavering. Pushing my feelings on him I knew would only trouble him. Understand, Heisuke. So I wasn't the only one who felt the loneliness of being apart then. Some strange way that made me happy. Hug him!
今までありがとうな。
Thank you for telling me how you really feel. I appreciate it.
よかった。お前にだけはちゃんと伝えておきたかったんだ。
Felt like our conversation had lifted a huge burden on Heisuke, and his bright smile returned.
それとごめんな。お前の親父さん見つけるまで付き合ってやれなくて。
It's alright, don't worry about it. Just be careful, Heisuke.
ああ、わかってる。無駄に命を捨てるような真似はしねえさ。約束するって。
Okay, now I'm curious. Like, cannot be with this man anymore now that they leave? Okay. I think I have to end that there. I am very disappointed. Honestly, I'm starting to think that I'm not gonna get anybody. But that's fine. Anyway, yeah, to be honest, I've not been enjoying Hakuoki that much. The politics is too much. I remember this game to be like a very, very great game. When I played it, the first time it was on PSP, I think. Like way before. But yeah, I guess it's just memories and nostalgia more than anything. It's still a good game, it's just I don't know, the politics is, oh god, like, I don't know, it's like it felt too real. Anyways, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I don't know when will that be, but let's see. Okay, bye bye.